Hey, Brenda, welcome back.
Thank you.
So happy to have you back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I'm sure we've all been thinking about cryptocurrency, checking our prices, at
Just a
least
little
what?
bit,
Just a little bit.
a few times a day.
So I was thinking, Bitcoin's all over the news now. It's like everything's all about Bitcoin, and there's so many things that are going on in the world. And
Like
I
it's
thought,
brand new.
yeah, and it's like Bitcoin's getting so much attention that wouldn't it be funny, like the instability of our banking system and everything that's going on? Like we literally print every 100 days $1 trillion to pay our debt,
That's crazy.
right? And I
Crazy.
get concerned that they're going to be like it's because of Bitcoin. So I just want
Right.
everyone listening to understand, like Bitcoin's the solution to the printer.
Exactly.
Yep. And the numbers, the CPI numbers came in today, and we're running a little hot with inflation.
Just a little bit, like
Just,
50% higher, it seems like.
I know,
If you go to the grocery store anyway.
I know, I know, I
Crazy.
know. It's so crazy. So anyway, I mean, Bitcoin was actually made because of this. So I just want like our listeners to understand, like Bitcoin is it's peer-to-peer transactions with no government involvement. There's no CEO of Bitcoin. You can become your own bank, right? For free. You can
Right.
download that Trust app, buy Bitcoin on a centralized exchange and send it off. And
Right.
then you become your own bank. And but again, it's like when I look at Bitcoin, I look at the digital asset market, we're so small. Like we're what, $2.5 trillion, and our bond market's worth over 30 trillion. So let's
Wow.
keep this in perspective.
Right.
Cryptocurrency is a very small speculative market, which
Right.
makes it very exciting. And we get to see these projects being built and see how they can like disrupt our current systems,
Right.
but hopefully to make them better.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool. So what else you want to talk about today?
Let's see. What about what do you think's going on with XRP with the lawsuit and all of
Yeah,
that? Because it's really gone up.
right. So XRP had it had like a 20% increase price. It's actually up 30% this month, which is
Which is
pretty
so
cool.
great. Yes, yes, because it's
Yeah.
finally moving.
So there's like a couple of things that could be going on. Like I think the biggest reason XRP is starting to move is they approved the AMM, which is an automated money maker that provides liquidity for the XRP ledger's decentralized exchange.
Okay.
So as the XRP ledger builds out its projects, right, similar to Ethereum and Stellar, they specifically built this like DEX, decentralized exchange, to provide liquidity, which is basically what XRP is meant to do. It's one of its use cases is to provide on-demand liquidity. So the fact that they approved it, it's coming now. So this is very, very good news. Just like
Very.
with, yeah, very good news. Just like with Stellar, like Stellar is building out their smart contract platform, and they're testing it right now. So it's kind of like in test net. It's not like live yet for everybody,
Right.
but we will get there. And when it happens, it'll be a big time game changer, I believe. Not financial advice. We're
Of
just
course.
two women talking about crypto
Right.
today. You know what I'm saying? But I do get,
Right.
I do get really excited. I mean, both have like massive partnerships. They've been meeting, World Economic Forum, IMF. Danielle Dixon, the CEO of Stellar, she goes and meets with Congress, wrote the Treasury like recommendations, like had like a response. So very, very immersed in our future economy. So I do see both of those projects being, pretty big winners, you
Yeah,
know?
I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah.
Excited. Now,
And
what
then
about like some of the projects that we're invested in? What about like taking the profits on those? Because you have a class coming up, right?
That's right. So I always say the hardest thing about cryptocurrency is taking profits. Like after the market, Bitcoin and crypto goes through cycles, right? So after we went through the last all-time high, we crashed, and then we kind of like, you have about a couple of years to accumulate all your favorite projects. That's how I look at it. And we
Right.
right? So we call that a bear market, but that's when you make all your money. So a lot of us have been accumulating during the bear market, and now we're like, when do we take profits? So March 23rd, it's a Saturday, 11 a.m. till about 12:30. I'm gonna go over all different ways to like take profits. So it's super
Okay.
important class. It's based on math. Because here's the thing, you could buy Shiba Inu, right? Because I know you did. Right. So you could buy Shiba Inu, and then you listen to all these YouTubers and they'll be like, Shiba Inu's going to a penny. And it's not. It's not. And because it's based on math. And that's what I'm going to go over in the class. But like you have 580 trillion tokens.
And
It's
especially
not
with the meme coins, they can go to zero like nothing. I know you told me to make sure I take some off the table. Right.
Right. So
Maybe
especially
at
with
least your investment or something with the meme coins.
exactly. Don't lose anything. Look, especially when you're new to the market, getting into some of these coins, like I feel your excitement. I know how excited you are. I mean, it's so exciting.
Yes.
You got in at like the perfect time. Everything is like, whoa, is this really true? Like, is this really, right? And it's such a great feeling, but we have to have a mindset of an investor, right? An experienced
have
investor.
the logic as well.
Right. So when you see your meme coins double in value, take your initial investment, de-risk.
Okay.
And then play with house money. Because to me, Floki isn't building anything. It's a cool, cute little meme coin, and have fun with it. But it's like going to the horse races.
Right.
So super fun. But Shiba Inu is actually building something. They are building a metaverse. They have like a chain called the Shibararium. I mean, it's so funny. And
a cute dog.
And it's super cute dog. It's a Shiba Inu, So, again, this is like fun money that you're not going to be sad if it goes to zero.
Right.
Because any project at any time could go to zero, even Ethereum. So we just have to de-risk along the way. Yeah,
at least take out maybe your initial investment, even if it's not profits. At least your initial.
When you're in meme coins, I would
but I'm just saying, like maybe taking some of your investment out on other coins, but for sure on meme coins.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other coins too, then you dollar cost average out.
Right.
Okay. So like we dollar cost average into the market, we're going to dollar cost average out. I did that with Ethereum just last week. I de-risked. I knew Ethereum was heading towards $4,000, and I took some money off the table. And that's what we do. It's always okay to take profits. Even if your coin 3X's within the next week, you're never sad when you take profits. You're only sad if you hold your bag all the way up and then come all the way down. It's a really long time, right? We all say, I wish I bought more Bitcoin during the bear market and all these coins, right? And then we always say the same thing.
I wish I bought more Bitcoin when it was still 37.
And then we're going to say, oh, I wish I took more profits.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, and that's why, we have our group, so we all support each other. We're early. We're talking about taking profits like right now, so this is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah. Cause I want to see
I'm excited about next week's class.
I know. Me too. Me too. So it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be a really great like learning tool that everyone will be more sovereign after the class, because they'll be like, oh, I can plug in all these numbers and, you know, look at all the token supply and all the things. So it'll be good.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Cool.
cool.
Cool. Yeah. So, you know, and the other thing is too, it's like, it's so interesting because my dad was listening to like a newscaster and he's like, the newscaster said, you know, I don't believe cryptocurrency is ever coming back down again because, you know, we're living in pretty unstable times, right?
Right.
And the market has always corrected and it's always goes through cycles, you know, and I get that, you know, we're about to move into a new financial economy. So it's kind of like guessing, like, when is XRP going to be used by more than
Right.
300, you know, partnerships, the United
Right.
Nations with their carbon exchange? You know, they bought 40% of a cross-border remittance company called Tranglo back in 2021. And they just expanded their services into Europe and they
Wow.
use XRP. So, you know, it seems like it's going to happen like today.
Right.
It's a really big world and it takes a really long time to change the
Right.
financial system.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. But we see
Especially with all the money
changes,
we just keep printing.
right? I know.
There's plenty of money to go around. Let's give some more out.
I know. I know. And then we all lose from that, you know, because
Yeah.
then every time we go to the store, we need more dollars.
Right.
So we're kind of like in this loop with like our monetary policy. And I don't really see any way out of it just because, you know, our debt is like insurmountable at this point. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. I'm sure they'll do a reset, whether that's 2025 or 2029, we have no idea, you
Right.
know? So that's why I always tell people just diversify,
Right.
you know, and things are changing. Like I went on Coinbase's website and now you can get like a debit card and you can convert your crypto, you know, into USD, go pay for things, and you get rewards, you know, back in cryptocurrency.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. You know, and we've been talking about Wisdom Tree Prime, where you can hold gold, you can hold crypto, you can hold dollars. So our banking system is changing, you know, so we
Yeah,
have,
that's for sure.
yeah, it's totally changing. And I think we're going to see more and more of this. Like I have my SafePal wallet and now, you know, I think it was either Visa or MasterCard, but I think it was Visa. They just made a deal with SafePal. So now we're going to be able to take our crypto and fund like a prepaid debit card and go pay for goods and services. Right.
Awesome. That's the best news I've heard.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
it's awesome, but I do want to point out we don't need Visa.
Right.
Right. I mean, the whole idea is to cut out the middleman,
The
but
middleman. Right.
we live in a really big world with powerful people.
Right.
So this is the way it's going to be for now, and we'll figure it out as we go. But yes, this is going to help mass adoption because
Right.
it's not just SafePal, it's MetaMask, it's Ledger. You know, it's just so many different hardware wallets. So yeah, so I mean, it's so super exciting.
It's very exciting.
I
Can't
know,
wait.
I
This
know,
week's just a taste of it.
right?
So, because everything's, when I woke up, was it Monday morning? And
I
it
think
was
so.
71,000. I'm like, or I don't know what, anyway, it was just crazy.
It's so weird to see Bitcoin at 71,000 and
Yes.
how fast
Uh-huh.
you forget, like not even a year ago, you know, it was 20 grand.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting mass adopted. I mean, having all these ETFs, the inflows coming in every single day, it's just like Bitcoin took a breather today, but you know, if these inflows keep coming into these spot ETFs, like Bitcoin's price will rise,
Right.
you know, and then next month in April, the amount of Bitcoin you can mine a day is
Having,
900. Right. So that gets cut to 450 a day.
wow.
So
Which should push the price up more, right?
absolutely.
As a norm it does.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like historically, like Bitcoin usually doubles like 6 months after halving.
Wow.
And we're so ahead of schedule because, like, again, we've already surpassed the all-time high. We
Right.
haven't gone through a halving, so this has never happened before.
Right. It's
So
new
we're in
territory.
uncharted territory. Yeah. So
Right.
now we don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we don't
So,
know. Now we're just grateful that we've been dollar cost averaging.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
Only
it.
wish I would have bought more Bitcoin.
I know, but you own it. You know, most of the
Right.
world does not own Bitcoin.
Right.
You know, when you see Bitcoin go to 80,000, 90,000, like who knows where it's going to go, but the higher Bitcoin goes, you know, the harder it's going to be for people to obtain even just one Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin, quarter of a Bitcoin.
Right.
And there's, you know, Bitcoin like is like how pennies are to a dollar. We have Satoshis to one Bitcoin. And there's 100 million Satoshis that make up one Bitcoin. So if we do wind up going to some sort of Bitcoin standard, we'll be paying things using Satoshis,
There you go.
which is pretty cool.
It'll seem very weird, but yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love when we're sending like Stellar to each other or whatever it
Yes.
is. I mean,
Hedera, Stellar.
yep, I love it all. I love it all.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So what's next on our list here?
Um, there was something I wanted to ask you, but let's see.
Ask away.
Um, oh, tell me more about Stellar. I forgot we were talking about that the other day.
Okay, sure. So, like I was mentioning before, like Stellar has its smart contract platform being tested. It's going to launch. It's going to do super well. They're partnered with MoneyGram, IBM. They're partnered with Circle, which Circle created USDC.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that more and more exchanges are going to be adding USDC paired with Stellar. Because when we send Stellar, it settles immediately
Immediately.
and it's a fraction of a penny.
Right.
Right. So when we send Ethereum, like USDC on Ethereum, the fees are 12 bucks, 15 bucks,
So
20
high, yeah.
bucks. Right. And so Ethereum's going through its upgrade right now, but that's not going to affect like the fees for Ethereum. There'll be more pairs with like their scaling solutions to help reduce the
Right.
fees. And that's Optimism, Arbitron, Polygon, things like that. So it's definitely going to help, but I much rather send USDC paired with like a Stellar or
Right.
XRP or Algorand.
You know, your fees are so minimal.
So minimal. And again, that instantaneous settlement, like if I sent you Stellar, it'd be like, boom, I sent this to you, and you'd be like, I got it.
Yeah.
So cool. So
Even
cool.
Hedera was really cool.
Yeah, Hedera's instant.
Fast. Yes.
Very, very fast. Very, very fast. Yep. So, you know, when I think about the future of payments and the rails, I think about those tokens over Ethereum. And I see like Stellar partnering with like all like these different MoneyGrams and like all these, they call them like anchors. So there's like companies like all over the place so people can, you know, swap their crypto or their peso into dollars or their dollar into francs, whatever it is.
Right.
Like they can do that all over the world. So, I mean, that to me is like super exciting.
Right.
And again, we're just getting started and they're
Right.
tokenizing the bond market. So they're number 2 next to Ethereum for tokenizing the United States Treasury market. So our entire bond market is getting tokenized.
Wow.
And I mean, it blows my mind. Our whole
Crazy.
financial system's being tokenized and put on the blockchain.
Wow.
So, right. So when I think about Stellar, I just think, you know, here's a great project, super regulated, been meeting with the
Right.
CFTC, like all of the regulatory like agencies of the government.
Wow, that's cool.
Right. And I read an article and they were saying like within the next few quarters, we are going to see like a massive growth in real world asset tokenizations of the bond
Wow.
market. So we're just getting started. We're at
Yeah.
700 million. I think it's going to go to 1 billion, then it's going to go to 10 billion, then it's going to go to 20 billion, and then it's going to go to 1 trillion. Then it's going to go to
Wow.
all of them. I think our bond market's about $30 trillion, and the whole thing eventually will be tokenized and held not just on Stellar's blockchain, but Polygon, Ethereum. There's a lot of different companies. XDC, they have
Oh, I love XDC.
yeah, and they have a tokenized treasury bond as well. So we'll see more and more. And XRP Ledger is great to kind of like almost even connect everything. It's that whole
Yes.
ledger is really good to provide liquidity for tokenized assets, because we're taking a lot of like illiquid assets and making them liquid. And I think
Right.
XRP can be a big part of like
Oh, I
solving.
think so too. Kind
Yeah,
of pulls it all together.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
cool.
And I want everyone to understand too, like Ripple, the company, is a technology company that created like a payment platform, right? For global cross-border payments, instantaneous settlements. They're a centralized company that's probably going to IPO. So get put on like the New York Stock Exchange or something like
Wow.
that. And the XRP Ledger is a decentralized blockchain. And even though Ripple kind of created the XRP ledger, that ledger is decentralized. I think they have like over 150 nodes now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's a good kind of balance. I like Ripple because they've always been like super transparent about, like who they are, what they were looking, like what problems they were looking to solve, and to really disrupt like cross-border payments.
Right.
Right? Because it's so expensive to send a cross-border payment. Now we can
Right.
do it for a fraction of a penny
Which is nice.
instantaneously.
Yes.
It's way more
Not have
fair.
to. Right.
Yeah.
Fair.
But then when I look, when I think about Ripple and I look at Coinbase and Wisdom Tree Prime, like I do think about the future of our banking systems are changing. And I
Sure.
wouldn't be surprised, like when we had the banking crisis with Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, the Federal Reserve Bank stepped in, loaned out small regional banks like short-term fund loans. Those loans expired yesterday. So we're filming this on Tuesday. The loans ended on the 11th of March. What if at the end of the month, the bank needs money and the Fed is like, no, then we could
Right.
possibly see more bank failure. So I just want people to understand what's going on. And do we need all these banks? Because we're
Right.
creating all these new banks. Like I could literally use Coinbase as a bank. I could
Right.
use Wisdom Tree Prime as a bank. So it's just stuff to think about, because the world's changing. It's changing really quickly, and I know it can be
Right. Now, what
overwhelmed.
banks, do you know which banks borrowed the money?
I
Like,
don't. So I don't. And that's the thing too. If you called your bank and you asked them, will your bank be transparent with you?
right.
And that's the beauty of the blockchain, because everything
Right.
is transparent for
Right. You
everyone
can
to
find it.
see.
Right.
It's all on the blockchain, every single transaction. So it would be nice if we had more transparency in our banking system.
Right.
So,
Know if our money's a little bit safe.
right. And think
So,
about it. If we put everything on the blockchain, like even like when we pay our taxes and when the government says, we're going to allocate these funds to like help the homeless people or whatever it may be, then you can put it on the blockchain, transparent for everyone to see. So you're being held accountable. And
right.
I can see this like permeating through everything and
Right.
really making our world a better place. And I know it's going to be a bumpy road. It's been a bumpy road, but
Right.
I do see things like getting better, which
Yeah.
makes me happy. Yeah.
Yep.
Not to say it's not going to be bumpy, and we have to steer the ship.
There you go.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure. And I think about XDC, and they're going to be such a big part of like digitizing trade documents, because XDC went up today about like 12%.
Oh, I
And
saw that too. I was very excited.
yeah, and I think it's such a good thing, right? Because Bitcoin always goes first, then Ethereum. Then we had this huge AI narrative. Then here comes the meme coins, right? Some gaming coins were like popping, and now we
Go
have like the
Shiba.
Shiba, and then we have utility coins. So
Right.
if you don't see your coins moving for 2, 3, 4 months, it's fine. Everybody kind of takes their turn, like in the
Their
rut.
turn.
Yeah, we pop up, we go sideways for a little while, pop up again, maybe crash. And if we crash 30 to 50%, it's a great day to buy.
Right. Then you take it as an opportunity and not think of it as a loss.
Right,
So,
right. It's
right.
not a loss. It's time to buy the dip,
Time to buy.
right?
Yep. I'm
Because
waiting.
we're in a bull market. So
Still waiting.
I know I keep waiting too. Like, so we kept talking about
Our
buying
favorite
Arweave.
project.
Like
Yes.
Arweave.
Oh,
Like, okay, and when it corrects down to 20, never did. Then I'm like, if it breaks 30, it's going to 40. Sure enough, it did. Now we're correcting, but it's not going, I don't know. I don't
it's
see it
not
going
going to
any
that, but
further.
maybe we'll have to, yeah, because I want to really get it more in on our weed too.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So,
and again, anything can happen. We don't go up in a straight line.
right. Not forever.
No, not forever. And we've been going and going and going. When the market corrects, it's a much healthier market,
Right.
you know? Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So what's been one of your favorite projects so far?
Our weave, XRP. I have a lot of favorites.
Yeah.
Of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum, which I don't own enough of, but I own. XDC, XLM, and
You got your Flux.
a lot of Flux. Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
speaking. So with the AI narrative, I just wanted to give a shout out because NVIDIA is doing their conference, their AI
oh,
conference,
okay.
and that's March 16th through the 18th. And one of the co-founders from this cryptocurrency project they're from Near Protocol. They're on a panel of a really big speech. And a lot of times, when you can follow these conferences, they'll make announcements and
Oh,
partnerships.
okay, great.
So yeah, I was keeping an eye on Near Protocol for a little while. I tried to swap it to buy it on my SafePal, wouldn't let me.
Oh,
I know. I think they're starting to want to push KYC for certain things, and I'm like, I'm not
yeah.
doing it.
What are you still looking at Near Protocol?
I mean, I kind of just gave up on it. Maybe, you know how I am. I'm not a trader. I'm an
Right,
investor, and I want to make a
right,
trade, but I love to trade when the market dips 30 to
right,
50%. It's hard to go and FOMO into these projects at a pump 40, 50%.
right,
And
because they could just dump that right away too.
absolutely, absolutely. And and sometimes like they don't stop pumping, right? With Akash. It's like we talked
Yeah.
about it and I'm just like, oh, it's got to correct down, it's got to correct down, and it never did.
And no matter what it did in the past, isn't like what the market is now for sure.
Yeah. And especially with such a strong, like everything is AI, generative AI,
Right,
GPUs, CPUs, like that's why NVIDIA is like the leader, because they create the chips, they do the GPUs and the
right,
CPUs. And projects like Akash and Flux and Render, they're doing decentralized versions of these
right.
GPUs, CPUs, and they're rising with the tide because
Yep.
it's a big narrative and it's a big need.
Yes.
So, and they can do it for like 80 to 90% less the price.
Wow.
Right. So
That's crazy. Yeah.
technology is super deflationary. So in theory, the price of things will eventually go down.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because of technology.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know if anyone's going to be able to afford to buy anything because the
Right.
robots are going to be doing
Exactly.
it all for us. But
Right. That's what's scary about you know, even like with kids going to college and stuff like that and having all these loans, what if they can't pay them back because they won't have a job to, you know, if their job's being taken over by AI or
Yeah.
it's pretty, so.
Yeah, I think it's super important for everyone to get educated on, you know, what are the jobs, the up and coming jobs, what is this going to look like? Because, you know, even like I talked about Dubai, if you're a student and you live in Dubai, you have an AI tutor, an app on your phone to help you with your schoolwork. Every student, even
Wow.
Kathy Wood recently moved down to like St. Petersburg, Florida, and she partnered up with a school and they are teaching the kids about like artificial intelligence. Like it's fine, like on such a small scale. Like
Wow.
I get concerned about our kids because we're so far behind,
Right.
but every single student should be learning robotics, like anything that has to do with this kind of technology, generative AI, and how it's going to impact. Like even if you want to go to school for accounting, you're going to be incorporating artificial intelligence into your
Right.
job.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. You know, I'm hoping it'll create more jobs, but we'll see.
Right.
It'll definitely be like that first initial shock for sure.
Yes. For
Yep.
sure.
Yep, for sure. So, you know, and if we do go through like a recession or, you know, if something happens, you know, housing should go down, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So, you know, if anyone's interested in real estate, picking up paper, notes, you've been working with one of our new sponsors here at hodlon.me. Check us out. Her name is Dawn Rickenbaugh. She is the note queen.
Oh
And
yeah, she knows
you've worked with Dawn.
everything. Oh yeah. She's great. She knows everything there is to know about notes, real estate. Um, she's amazing, like out of the box. So
Awesome. Awesome. And she
yeah.
helps put together like awesome real estate deals for people.
Yes, she knows how to put together deals and she's very good at what she does.
Cool. So
So
check her out. I'll have her info down below. So, you know, we're all about diversification
I
and
think
getting
she's
more.
gonna start her new like a mentoring program or
Oh, cool.
starting, I think in April.
Okay. I'll
Oh,
talk to her and
yeah,
get
she's
some
so good.
information
Yeah.
and share that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I mean, why not? Do crypto, do real estate, got
exactly.
gold and silver. We gotta diversify. No one knows for
Exactly.
sure how this is gonna end.
Right. For sure.
All right. Well, awesome.
So,
Any other questions for me before we wrap up?
um, I don't think
I
so.
think we covered everything.
Yes.
I appreciate you
Great.
so much for
Oh,
coming on the
no.
show.
Thank you for having me.
It's always great to see you. It's always great for you
Okay.
to be here. Definitely will have
Thank
you on
you.
back. I love
Okay.
we're tracking Brenda's crypto journey because you've been in crypto for not too long.
We'll
So
see. Nope, I have not been. So, but I don't want to be one of the statistics as far as people that held their crypto for too long and
absolutely.
stuck with nothing. So,
Absolutely. So March 23rd, come join us for
yes, I can't wait for it.
take profits. We're going to do
Take
this. It's
profit.
going to
All
be
right.
so much fun.
Can't wait.
So happy to be on this journey with you.
All right. You too. Thank you for everything.
Yeah. So until next time, what do we say, Brenda?
Hodl on.
Huddle on, y'all.